Good evening to everyone. My name is Suresh Rajpura, as Honorable Andrew Smith said that. I represent Hindu Education Forum, and we are more into cultural education than anything else. Yeah, it is my honor to be able to share with you all what the light means from Hindu perspective. I'm going to share the screen with you, and I'll talk you through as we go along. So there we go. Right. At the top, those who are not familiar, is the symbol of Om, that's AUM, and underneath that is the symbol of Namaste, as we always greet. Namaste is a cultural greeting, it's not a religious greeting. Yeah, that's very important to know that, the difference. We have a religious greeting like Jai Shri Krishna, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Mataji, but Namaste is a cultural greeting. Today's topic is all about light. And from Hindu perspective, it's a different thing altogether. Totally different thing, in the sense that it's not limited to scriptures or in a book, but that is how the Hindus and I live in daily life. And that is very, very important. So let's begin at the beginning. How do we start anything at all? So whenever we start any Hindu ceremony, we always recite this mantra, which I like to recite for you all, because it's in Sanskrit and also in English, repeat, but you may not understand, or maybe want to speak it. So I'll recite the mantra and explain to you how it relates to light itself. Om Asato Ma Satagamaya. The second sentence, which is Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. And the third and last one is Mrutyur Ma Amritam Gamaya. Is the second sentence that is most important in this mantra. It means Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya. Tamas means darkness, and Jyotirgamaya means light. So the very first mantra we chant in any Hindu ceremony is this one. It doesn't matter which faith a particular group subscribe to, but this is the mantra. Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya, the second sentence or the middle sentence of the mantra means lead me from darkness to light. Now here we don't mean light as we see the physical light in electricity. But what we mean is that from the darkness and ignorance and hatred and the greed and the anger, take me to more calming personality. Dispel my darkness of ignorance and fill up the mind with the true knowledge of light. That's what we mean. Most Hindus, obviously it all depends on climate and condition and the country where they live and everything, they will normally offer pranam or prayers to rising sun first thing in the morning. That is how they will start the day. Even before they have a normal daily, brush the teeth and everything, they look outside the window, look at the sun, and say Om Adityaya Namah, and there are 12 mantras, different names of sun God, what we call it God, is they will recite in their mind. Otherwise, even if they don't know the mantra, they will do simple pranam to sun, rising sun first thing in the morning, as we can see in the slide here. All Hindus who do the prayers in their own little temple at home, they will start with lighting of the lamp. Whether they have a time to do the mantra and puja and ceremony or not, but they will still do a little devo. As you can see in my background here, it's made of ghee. But it's not only in the house that we do it. All Hindu ceremonies, they start with lighting of the lamp. In this picture, you can see the President of India, obviously passed away a couple of years ago, Dr. Abdul Kalam. He is lighting a ceremonial lamp in the Rashtrapati Bhavan or the Presidential Palace, as you can see that. Yeah. So it is a very much part of, it's a living, practical, daily user thing, and not only when they go to the temple or at certain ceremony they do it. Yeah. And here is, as you can see, Dr. Abdul Kalam lighting the lamp. Nobody needs explaining what Diwali is all about. Everybody knows it's the festival of lights. So whether the sun rises in the morning or not, Diwali is there every year, and it lights up the sky throughout the world with thousands and thousands and thousands of lamps. But here again, when we are lighting the lamp, it is not just to light up the room we're living in or the house we're living in. The lighting of the lamp is very symbolic. The real lamp that Hindus try to light is the lamp in their own inner mind. And that's why you can see there's one gentleman, Mr. Shah, in the audience, and myself. You can see that we have a red dot on our head. It's basically the Gnan deep. So what we're trying to do by lighting the physical lamp, we are actually trying to light the lamp of knowledge to get rid of the darkness, the anger, the greed, the lust, and all those things. So that is the real purpose of lighting the lamp itself. But Diwali is the occasion. But it's not just limited to Diwali, isn't it? People of all race, religion, faith, and of no faith, let's be honest. Don't they just look at the lights on New Year's Eve? Wow, it is fantastic, isn't it? So there is something, like Bishop said, there's something in light that lights us up as well. Even if we don't know what it means, even if we believe in God or we don't believe in God, or which God we believe, there is something in life. And is it not true, my friend, that every day when you come home, especially now, the first thing we do is switch the light on. So it's not limited to doing the part puja or ceremony or when you go to the temple. It's part of our daily things, whether we are aware or not. Why do we light the switch on when we get home? Because in darkness, either we get hurt or we damage the things. Now, can you imagine? I come home and I drop something. Can you imagine what my wife will do to me? I tell you what, it's a lot easier to light the lamp, turn the switch on, than have the aggro afterwards. So for Hindu, it's a daily thing. But it's not only limited to lighting the lamp. As most of you already know about yoga. In yoga, there are 64 different postures, or asanas as it's known. But we'll call it posture for the greater ease of the majority of the people here. Now, I don't know anybody, my friends. I don't know anybody who knows all the 64 postures, because you got to be super yogi to be able to do that. Yeah. But you know what? The yogis, thousands of years ago, they worked out a simple formula for the lazy and ignorant like me. They said, son, if you can just do 2 yoga postures, you done it all. And here is the good news. The first one, Andrew, you are so dear, and I want you to be the first one to try it, yeah, is the headstand. How many can I do headstand? So if you can do headstand, you are halfway there. And the next one is Surya Namaskar. Sun salutation. I think almost everybody in the world knows about Surya Namaskar postures. There are 12 in posture, and in each posture you recite the different name of sun, God. Om Adityaya Namaha, Om Mitraya Namaha, Om Raviye Namaha, etc. The different attributes of the same sun, basically. Now, Surya Namaskar is also known as king of all asanas. So even if you can't do the headstand, on a lighter note, most people should have no difficulty doing the headstand, and I'll tell you why. Try not to laugh, because most of us have a very big head, so it shouldn't be a problem. Stand upside down. But even if you can't do that, there's no problem at all. Do the Surya Namaskar, and it is as good as you have done all other 62 postures in one. So again, Surya Namaskar is traditionally, and it's recommended that you do first thing in the morning facing the sun. You don't do it in the evening. I mean, no harm will come if you do it in the evening or at any other time of the day. But to get the maximum benefit, it is best you do it in open ground, facing the sun, and you do these postures. And if you do that 12 of them, you will never, ever suffer ill health. Here is something us Hindus do very differently. Now, you can class Hindus as awkward, difficult people, but that's what we are at times. Yeah. And I like to show. But you know what? You're going to love it. You ain't going to like it. You're going to love it. Now, what do we do, my friend Andrew, when we celebrate the birthday? We have a lovely cake, then lots of candles, and then whoever's birthday it is blows the candles. Yeah, and we chant happy birthday to you. Hindus differ here. In Hindu tradition, we do not blow the lamp. And the reason, I think, is abundantly clear, that there is already enough ignorance in us. By blowing the candle, you are effectively inviting the darkness, the very thing that we all need to get rid of. And again, I will say, it doesn't matter whether you believe in this God or that God, faith or non-believer. From Hindu perspective, it is absolutely not necessary at all to have a belief in God. But belief in yourself and environment is very, very important. And blowing the candle, it does opposite from a Hindu perspective. You are essentially inviting darkness. But let's go a step further. You know what? This ancestor of mine, thousands of years ago, worked out something that is as relevant in contemporary life as it was then. We all know about pandemic, don't we? And every time you blow the air or cough, millions of germs come out. Even without corona, go on internet afterwards and search how many bacteria live in your mouth. Even as I'm talking to you now, in normal conversation, the bacteria are flying through, out. Now, even the modern science, there was a very good documentary about 2 weeks ago on BBC, and it was showing that when you blow, how many bacteria come out of your mouth. And they are not the nicest people. Now, it documentary also showed, this was in a scientific lab, that most of those bacteria will fall within first 10 centimeters of your mouth area. And if you blow very hard or cough, then 20 centimeters. Some will survive up to 2 meters, but 10 centimeters is not even 6 inches. Now, when you blow the candle, you are essentially not only inviting the darkness, but also blowing all the bacteria on the very cake, which is supposed to cheer people up. So from Hindu perspective, it is very unhygienic to blow over the cake. Not only to blow the candle is bad, but then to blow and sprinkle the cake with the bacteria is very unhygienic, and you are passing a lot of bad things to other people. So Hinduism is, I wouldn't say dead against, but because there's no must in within Hinduism. Hinduism is very descriptive. It shows you the guideline. What is good for you and what is bad for you. What is right and what is wrong for you. Then you just make your own decision. There is no must, because Hinduism doesn't say that if you will do this, then you'll go to heaven, or if you don't do it, you will go to hell. It just tells you, just like a supermarket labeling, those orange, green, and red ones, it tells you, if you still want to eat those, 30, 40% sugar packet, well, no problem. Then don't blame God, that's all. It's your money, you can do whatever you like. So Hinduism is very descriptive in that way, and that's why Hinduism is on this one differs from other practices where you blow the candle and invite the darkness, or you basically make it very unhygienic. So for Hindu perspective, from me and everybody, is lighting the lamp is routine thing. Lighting the lamp is not just physical lighting of the lamp. We say Tamasoma Jyotirgama, the second sentence of the mantra I chanted, that lead me from untruth to the truth. That means delusion and ignorance to the reality, and the power of discrimination to know the difference between the two. So that is how the Hindus see the lighting of the lamp, whether it's Diwali, whether it's celebrating the birthday, whether it's starting any ceremony from the president of India to the lightest, smallest ceremony in the house, people will always, even without ceremony or no festival, lighting of the lamp, every morning is pretty standard thing in all Hindu tradition.